Dollar bears are creating headaches for a number of countries, but it turns out that further frustration could actually be bullish for the greenback. Let's go back to John Erlichman for this story.
Well, Scarlett, when you think of some of the best performing currencies against the dollar this year, you'll come up with countries like New Zealand, the Kiwi, or Canada, and the loonie. And of course, everybody knows that the euro has been stronger against the dollar. These are some of the same nations and regions that have been most outspoken when it comes to being concerned about that weaker dollar and their stronger currencies, partly because of how that affects the export story for these nations and their ability to recover from the economic downturn as well. So it's against that backdrop that some are asking the question whether or not the idea of a coordinated intervention might ultimately serve as a floor for the dollar. Now, keep in mind, this is a massive market, the foreign exchange market. Michael Woolfolk, a bank in New York, points out there are more than $3 trillion worth of FX volume every day, and 90% of it involves transactions with the dollar. So if you want to make a dent, coordinated activity is certainly important, given that we have seen some intervention from some Asian nations recently that have not necessarily made that dent. We did hear from one currency strategist at TD, Sean Osborne, who argues that right now he doesn't see a huge likelihood of that happening. However, he does question how much more strength we can see in the euro against the dollar. And by the way, the euro still not as strong as it was back in 2008 at its strongest levels, one of the reasons why you might not see that. Meanwhile, as for Michael Woolfolk's outlook for the euro against the dollar, he actually thinks that the dollar is going to strengthen by the end of next year, possibly between 10 and 15%, Scarlett.